other study that I thought was really interesting that showed us the kind of importance of confidence was a study by a guy called Zach Estes. Professor Estes wanted to study specifically the gender difference when it comes to confidence. He wanted to look into whether this is real. And he would give groups of people a spatial awareness test. And what he found was that the women in the group had scored significantly lower than the men in the group. And he goes back over the questions, and what he sees is that the women have not answered more questions than the men have not answered. They just skipped a whole bunch of questions. So the next group, he says to them, okay, everybody has to answer all of the questions, no omissions. And in the next group, when everyone has to answer all of the questions, guess what happens? The women scored just as well as the men in the group. So when we went to Professor Estes and we asked him what was going on, why in that first group were the women skipping questions, even though they knew that it was going to lower their score, he said something very profound that pertains to this issue of confidence. They didn't want to risk getting the answer wrong. They would prefer to skip the question than risk getting it wrong. Or, put another way, they wanted to be perfect. And when we asked him why that was, he said he thought it was a risk of failure, that failing, answering the question wrong, was somehow worse than not answering the question at all. And that became for me a kind of a metaphor for life. You have to answer the question. You may get it wrong, but if you don't answer the question, you're not giving yourself a chance. It's like risks. You have to take a risk. You may get it wrong. You may screw up. People do. It's a really annoying design flaw in the human species. Have you noticed that? People mess up. I mess up. Your best friend messes up. Your boss messes up. Your professor in school messed up. Your husband or wife messes up. People mess up. We make mistakes. We fail. But if you don't answer that question, if you don't take that risk, if you don't take that chance, you'll never know how far you can go.